Hi, welcome to Salt City Knits. I'm Emily, and this is a podcast all about my making life. Today is May 17th, and it is a glorious, gorgeous, sunny, beautiful May day today. And I'm excited to be back with you. You can find me on Ravelry and on Instagram as Salt City Knits. You can also find my patterns on Ravelry and at yarnbrary.com, and my yarn is also at yarnbrary.com, and I'm on Instagram as Yarnbrary. So is that confusing? You can find me all the places, Salt City Knits, Yarnbrary, that's me. So welcome back for another episode. It's been a couple weeks since I recorded last, and I have lots to show you, lots to share with you. I'm very excited to show you what I have been up to. I have been busy making, designing, dyeing yarn, all of the things. And yeah, I'm really excited about my summer plans. So yeah, I'm really excited to share with you. First off, we're going to have a little bit of a life update. Then I will show you talk about pattern news. And then I will show you my finished objects. Then we will have a couple works in progress. And lastly, we will have Yarnbrary shop news. So yeah, let's just dive right in. So first off, it has been a very busy couple of weeks with our youth organization that we run. We're starting to gear up for our summer programs. And so we have a lot going on preparation wise. People often will talk about kind of the down season for our program, people that are in our program, because we run mostly during the summer months as far as the big things that people see. For us who are the organizers, we work year round, but we're definitely getting into the very busy time. So there's lots going on with that. So we've been really busy with doing that. We also had a great opportunity to be volunteers at a local event here, which was the Taylorsville Temple Open House. And the temple is part of our church, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And we have a new one opening here near our home. And so temples are normally something that you can only enter if you are a member in good standing, and have like a recommend to be in the temple, just because they're very sacred to us. But for the few weeks before a new temple is dedicated, it's open to the public. So anybody can go and see it. And it's been really neat. We got to go and volunteer and help out there as kind of tour guides and just helping with the process. And that was really, really neat. And then we went back and took my dad to go visit it. And yeah, it was just a delightful thing that we've been able to do. So that was really cool. Let's see what else has been going on. We had Mother's Day, and we kept it fairly low key here. Our son Isaac had a special kind of momentous thing in his journey through his faith, and he was ordained to the office of elder, which is not in our church a title that has anything to do with your age, but just a kind of a progression through his like leadership responsibilities that he can have and service he can give. And so he did that on Mother's Day, and then we had some family over afterward and some friends for just a lunch. And it was just a really beautiful Sunday. Let's see, what else did we do? It's been busy with work, as you will see in a little bit. We've been dyeing so much yarn and new colorways, and so that has been keeping us super busy. Yeah, so that's the majority of things that have been happening. I'm sure I'm forgetting so many things because I have a tendency to do that. I don't want to say I like am just in the moment, as in like that's some virtue that I have. Sometimes it actually kind of drives me crazy that I have kind of a flighty memory. I don't know. I actually think I have ADD. Yeah, and I think that that's part of it. It's this object permanence. Like whatever I'm doing right now is the thing that's happening. So sometimes once I finish doing something, I forget. I mean, like I have the ability to remember. If somebody brings it up, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that we did that. But it doesn't necessarily stay present in my mind. So it is what it is. So let's see, talking about pattern news. I'm so happy to share that this little lovely lady, Stansbury, oh, she's so pretty, is now available. Today is release day for Stansbury, and this is a shawl that uses a sock set. So it uses a 100-gram skein of a main color and then a 20-gram contrast. And I knit my sample in our Handsome Enough to Tempt Me sock set. And this is such a fun pattern. It starts at the top and you just knit it down. And this section is very simple. It's mostly stockinette with a little bit of some garter ridges every once in a while to give it some texture and interest and to help you keep on track with your row count. And then you change and you work this mesh section with your contrast mini. And then you change back to your main color and you knit this beautiful lacy border. See if we can get it to focus. This beautiful lacy border that is knit end to end. So it's knit from one end to the other and you work back and forth like this along the edge. It knits up very quickly, and for using only a sock set, it's a very nice and wearable size. So I love how it turned out. It's so fun. It's kind of addictive. My test knitters really enjoyed it, and yeah, it's available now. It's on Ravelry and on Etsy and on my website at yarnbrary.com. So yeah. If you are a viewer of Amy at Noble Character Crafts, you will have seen her example in her most recent episode. She knit a beautiful example in my Winter in the Big Woods colorway. I just really love it. It's just such a good use of a sock set. I really, really enjoy it. Now, alternatively, you could use mini skeins for every one of these sections as well. The only thing is it definitely takes probably about, sorry, that's not focusing. There we go. It takes, I think, about 40 grams to do this border. So you wouldn't be able to use a mini skein for that border. But this section might need a little bit more as well. I haven't knit it and worked it out that way. So if somebody does that, I would love to know how much yarn you used for each of the sections. That would be really neat. So that's Stansbury. And I just really love it. I think it's just such a pretty shawl. It's even nice to drape over your shoulders. It's still a good size for that. And you know, I'm a larger woman, so if you're smaller, it'll be even more generous on you. Like, again, if you've watched Amy, you could see her example. She has a much smaller frame and it fits her even more generously. But I just love it. I just think it's so feminine and delicate, and I just absolutely love it. So yeah, give it a little jiggle so you can see the pretty lace. Super fun to make. And this lace border, if you are intimidated by doing lace, I feel like this is such a good way to do it, because first off, you are knitting lace, but this is all written out. Second of all, it's only an 8-row repeat, and you're only working this many stitches at a time. So it's not, lace everywhere like in my Albion Basin shawl. It's just this much lace at a time. And so I think it works out to be a really good way to kind of dive in to trying some lace if that feels intimidating to you. Learn a new technique with a knitted on border. And yeah, and I love this little detail of this stitch where it joins. I think that looks so pretty. Anyway, so that's Stansbury. And can we just talk about this color for a minute? Oh, it's so pretty. This is my problem owning a yarn business, because I'm a yarn addict who owns a yarn business. You better believe that I spend way too much time shopping my own stash. Not always a good plan, but it's so tempting. And this was one of those where I just went out, I kept looking at it, and I just said, I have to make something with this. And it inspired this design. And I love it. So pretty. Okay, I know I showed that last time, but since I showed it, it's now released. So I wanted to show it again. All right, let's show some other finished projects. So Deborah of Candy Shop Yarns, who happens to be my beautiful sister, is hosting a make-along for May called the MerMay Make-Along, MerMayMAL. And for that make-along, I knit these socks. Now these are my Fizz Socks, which remind me of little bubbles in the ocean. And I knit these using my Swashbuckle colorway. I say my Swashbuckle colorway. I think this one of any is Richard's Swashbuckle colorway. Richard is actually out in the driveway right now doing brakes for some friends on their car. So that's why he's not in here with me right now. But he dyed this yarn, he designed it and dyed this colorway. And both Swashbuckle and Fizz, I think, fit so well with a mermaid theme. We'll call it mermaid adjacent, right? It's not exactly mermaids, but pirates, mermaids, ocean travel. I think it goes. I think it goes. I'm gonna call it a match. So this is the Fizz Socks pattern. And I just love it. It has these little eyelets just to give it some interest and texture. And it's super simple and fun to make. And I really love how they turned out. I made these with a little bit longer leg and a longer cuff. And I really like that. And these are for me, so that's fun. I love in this colorway how you get just little blips of greens. It's mostly blues, but then there's occasionally some greens and even a few, come on, there we go. Some greens and even some blacks and darker blues flecked through it. And yeah, there's another little fleck of green. They're just like, it's like a treasure hunt to find the little flecks through it. Now, both Fizz and my Gathering Shells pattern and this Swashbuckle color are all on sale for MerMay through the month of May. This is our color of the month. So I'll talk more about that later, but I just wanted to mention that now. So that is a finished pair of socks. All right. One of the things that I've been trying to do, and it's going to take me a while to do it, is been to go back and re-knit all of my patterns and knit them in Yarnbrary yarns so that I have shop samples that are my patterns and my yarns. And so with that in mind, I have knit a Sugar House shawl. And I knit this in 2 of our author colors. I've had it folded up and I think it's a little crumply. I usually roll my shawls to avoid having an issue with that, but this ruffle, I should just hang this one because with the ruffle, it's got extra fabric. And so it got a little bit crunched up. But the 2 author colors that I used are Burnett and Bronte, which are 2 of my absolute favorites. This shawl is so fun. It's such a nice big size. It's such a beautiful and a simple project. The body is knit end to end with garter stitch. And then there's an I-cord border on the top as well. And then you go pick up stitches along the bottom edge and then knit on this beautiful ruffle. And it's so fun. Okay, so I scooted the camera back a little bit so you could see more of this shawl. It's a fun one. It's fun with its ruffle. You can bring it up higher, of course. And yeah, just really enjoyable to knit. There's a lot of TV knitting for this one because this whole body again is garter stitch, and then you have to pay attention to pick up the stitches and to work your gathering stitches. But then after that, it's stockinette for all of that. And that's a lot, by the way. There's a lot of stitches on that ruffle. So it's some oceans of stockinette there for a little bit. But it's not forever, right? It's just for that much. So I really enjoy that one. And I'm really happy to have this as a sample. We are hoping to be having some opportunities to vend at some yarn shows. And so I definitely wanted to have some shop samples that I could share. And bonus points if they are colors that I would love to wear as well. So that is the Sugar House shawl. What am I seeing? Oh, I think it was just a shadow. Anyway. And I love this Bronte color. It is not white. It is this beautiful, creamy taupe kind of color. Oh, it's just a beautiful one. You get subtle variations in it, and it's just, I want to call it like a rich vanilla. I don't know. I love it. It's such a pretty color. And then of course Bronte is kind of like my signature pink, that rosy peachy pink. Oh, love it. All right, next up, finished object is one that I'm so excited about. I kind of just worked on this one in secret. I haven't shown it to you guys at all. I got this idea in my head. It was late at night on, I think like a Sunday night, and I couldn't fall asleep because I kept thinking about it. And I was designing it in my head all night. I got up the next morning and I cast it on. And I finished it, and it is being test knit as we speak, and it will be released on either May 30th or June 1st. So I'm so excited about this. This is the Rainbow Bridge shawl. And I took some inspiration from both of the two shawls that I just showed you. Part of that inspiration is this garter stitch body, similar to the Sugar House shawl, although it's a slightly different shape. And part of the inspiration is the knitted on lace border, which was similar to the Stansbury shawl. And it's meant to represent a rainbow and clouds. And I love how it turned out so much. I think it is just the cutest thing ever. I think it's so cute on. I love how it kind of showcases all the different colors. And anyway, I just am in love with it so much. It's named after Rainbow Bridge National Monument, which is down in southern Utah near Lake Powell. It's one of the amazing kind of natural stone arches. They look like an arch or a bridge that we have here in Utah. We have that one. We have Delicate Arch. We have a few others. I think Delicate Arch is probably the one that's the most iconic. Like it's on our license plates, you know, that kind of iconic here in Utah. But Rainbow Bridge is a very popular one as well. But the other thing I love about it is that the rainbow itself means something to so many different people. And I'm looking at this spot, and this is funny from the way I wove my ends in. It's showing that red over to the pink. I didn't notice that before. Anyway, I digress. The rainbow means something to so many people. I mean, for me, it's a reminder of like God's promises that he looks after his children. And for so many people, the rainbow represents kind of self-expression and being accepted for who you are and taking pride in yourself. And I love the combination of naming it after a Utah location, like I always try to do, Rainbow Bridge, but also the rainbow is a bridge between all of us. And I love that. And I love these colors. So I have to show you. Well, yeah, I'm just going to show you now. We have dyed up kits for these. And these are all author colors. Oh, it's in the plastic. So it's crinkly and reflective, but they're already packaged up. So these are all author colors, and they're coming in biography sock and sparkle, sci-fi sparkle sock. And so they're Bloom, Christie, Dahl, Montgomery, Seuss, Whitman, and Lewis. And I think that those authors are as diverse as could be imagined. Everywhere from Judy Blume to Walt Whitman and everybody in between. So I love that. So we're going to be offering kits for this shawl as well. But I absolutely love it. I love this lace border. I think it reminds me of clouds. It's so much fun to knit. And I just absolutely love it. And I just think it's the cutest thing on. I just think it's so darling. So that is Rainbow Bridge. I love it. So it's coming very soon. Like I said, it'll be released either May 30th or June 1st. And it's with my test knitters as we speak. They've already cast on and they're working on it. So it will be ready to go by the time that comes around. And I had so much fun making this. I had so much fun designing it, so much fun making it. And I know I'm gonna have so much fun wearing it. It's getting too warm right now, at least in the days. The evenings are still nice and cool. So throwing a shawl on over your shoulders if you're sitting out on the patio, it's a very nice thing. This one also has a beautiful I-cord top to it. Anyway, I just love it all. One of the things that I really tried to do with this one is design each section so it uses as much of your mini skein as possible. Because there's so few stitches here compared to the number of stitches here, that means your stripes this direction are a little bit wider on the end and they get a little bit narrower as they come to the middle so that you can use as much of that skein as possible. And you really do use up. Other than these two ends, you pretty much use up all 5 of the middle colors. And of course, this wouldn't have to be a rainbow. You could do this in any colors. You could use your scraps or whatever you wanted to. I just loved the rainbow, so I thought it was so fun. I also designed it to have a nice curved edge at the bottom, very gradual curve there. So I also really love that. Ugh, I just think it's so pretty and so fun. So much fun. Those are all of my finished objects. So, works in progress. Let's talk about those. First off, I don't know if you guys are sick of this one yet. I'm starting to be. Not because it's not a beautiful project, but because I just feel like I'm never gonna finish it. But this is my Bantam wrap. And this is where I am. This is a crochet pattern and I'm making the scarf width. And this pattern is by Deanne Ramsey and it's called Bantam. And the link is down below, of course, in the description box. And I'm showing you the back side. Nope, I wasn't. I was showing you the front side. I really think it's so beautiful. It's a very well-written pattern. And I just am not a super, like, I just don't love crochet the same way I love knitting. I just don't lean toward it. I think the only difference, the only time I do is making granny stripe blankets, honestly. But the thing that slows me down are these narrow stripes where you're doing all of your crocheting through the back loop. And it gives it this beautiful texture, which I don't think is showing up very well on the camera. But it definitely emphasizes those stripes beautifully in person. And they go so slow for me. And then when I get to this section, I zip through it in minutes. And then these take me forever. I'm just slow. That's all there is to it. And so it's just taking me a long time. That being said, I'm really close to being done. I have this color and then I'm doing one more, maybe two more. I'm probably doing two more. So I'm just finishing my transition stripes with this color and my main color right here. And then my next color will be this one right here, which is I believe it's a Candy Shop Yarns colorway, but I'm not sure which one. These were all in a swap that I did with my friend Sina for Easter. So this will be my next one. And then I will do another stripe of that. And then my final color will be this one. Here we go. And then I will end with the white again. So transition into that really bright one, then transition into the white, then transition into the final pink one, and then transition into the white. That's what I have left. So it's about this much left to do. And then I will be done. And it's just so gorgeous. I mean, look at that. How pretty is that? I am crocheting this with, let's see, what is my hook? I have to put my glasses on so I can actually see. With a G, which is a 4.0 millimeter hook. I just have these cheap ones that I buy off Amazon. I think these are amazing. This grip works so nicely for me. I've tried other hooks and I've tried expensive ones. You know, I had a Furls hook I gave away not too long ago because it was, well, I guess it was like a year ago, but it was just too heavy in my hand. It made my hand even more tired to use it. These are light. I'm pretty sure they're aluminum, and they just have these cheap vinyl grips on them, and they are really comfortable and they work super well. So that is what I've been using, the 4.0 millimeter. I don't know if that was what was called for. Right now, I only have one page of the pattern in my basket here because here's her picture. Because I have the sections that I need to refer to every once in a while. Mostly it's in my head, mostly it's all memorized, but every once in a while I'll just go, wait, was that right? And I'll double check to make sure. Yeah, it's a really delightful one. And I have all of this project in this adorable basket. Lots of people have asked me about this. My friend Sina made it for me. I don't have the information on how to make it. So I'm sorry I don't have that. But it is so cute and I love it. And at some point, I'm probably going to try and copy it. So anyway, it's going to be beautiful. And looking at it on the screen makes me want to finish it. I really do. I've just been focused on other things, but it sure is pretty. Oh, it really is pretty. And the colors that Sina picked out for me to do in our swap were just so beautiful. Apparently I have a rainbow thing happening here because this, you know, I'm knitting from purples and then into blues and then greens and yellows and peachy colors and going into pinks. So I'm definitely creating a rainbow with that. You kind of can't go wrong with a beautiful rainbow. All right, my last work in progress is another new design. And it's going to be a little hard to show it because it's kind of all crowded onto a smaller needle. So bear with me. But I am designing a tee. And this is going to be impossible. I should have put this on a stitch holder. But it has this cute, come on, there we go. Cute lacy medallion at the front of the neck. And it's a very simple raglan tee. I'm knitting this in our Twain colorway in, am I using contemporary sock? So it's fingering weight. And this, I think that's going to be much cuter when it's blocked. Right now, I'm not loving how it's looking. It's cute. It is really cute. So it's just got a little lacy medallion here in the front, and there'll be a little lace detail going down the sides as well. Very simple. And it'll be a short sleeve tee with a raglan neck. And I've been doing all the grading math as I've been going along. And so I'm pretty sure it's going to be coming in sizes, in 9 sizes from extra small to 5X for adults. I am knitting the 3rd size right now for my model. And then I will probably knit another one for my daughter in one of the larger sizes, probably the 3X afterward. So I really love how it's turning out, and it has been such an adventure. It's going to have this wider neckline, although it will have, and I like how the, come on, focus. There we go. I like how the lace gives it that slight dip in the neckline. So it'll kind of come along and then have a little dip like that, which I really like. But it's meant to have a little bit of a wider neckline as it's a summer piece. Let's see, what else did I want to say about it? I don't know exactly when it's going to be ready. I haven't designed a sweater before, and I want to make sure that it is right and that the sizing and the proportions are what I want. And so I'm going to take my time to make sure that it is correct, but I'm really enjoying it. I've finished this lace portion, so now I'm just continuing to work on the raglan increases, and then it will be stockinette other than the lace, little lace on the side seams. And so, yeah, it's just kind of a fun project, but I kind of love it. And I've told you guys that Twain is my favorite of our author colorways. It's so pretty. So it's hard to show it. Like I said, all crowded onto the needles. You're not getting a super exciting view right there, but I'm really excited about it. And of course, I've got it in my gorgeous bag from Moo and Mouse, beautiful Emma. I love this. I know I showed it last time. So I will stop rhapsodizing over my beautiful bag, but you can bet your bottom dollar that I'm using it. So fun. That is all I have in the works right now. I need to cast on another pair of socks because it's weird to not have a pair of socks on the needles right now. It's just strange. It's really strange. So that'll probably happen right after I finish recording and editing. I'm going to make myself edit and upload before I'm allowed to cast on another pair of socks. But what pattern do I want to do? That's the big question. What do I want to make? I don't know yet. All right, let's talk shop news. I have some yarns to show you. Not only do we have our rainbows coming up, these are not listed quite yet, but will be shortly. They will come either just in a pack or in a pack with a full skein of our parchment colorway, which is the color that I used for my lacy border for my rainbow bridge shawl. And it has the 7 colors in it. We will have 3 of these. These are called the Author's Color Library, and this is the rainbow edit. We will also have a neutrals edit and one that's going to be called the romance edit, so that all of our author colors will be in packs. And so you'll just want to keep an eye open for those. They're coming shortly. Sorry, I know those are crinkly. If you've got headphones in, that's probably not your favorite sound. A little more crinkle. I also released just yesterday, was it yesterday? Yes, it was yesterday, our summer book fair collection. Do you remember book fairs as a child? That was one of my favorite things. The Scholastic Book Fair. You would get the book fair flyer at school, and I would take it home and I would lay it out in front of me and I would pore over it and circle all the books that I was interested in. And there were so many circles. I was such a reader as a child, and this was just like the daydream to be able to buy books. And we usually didn't have much money, so it was babysitting money or odd jobs around the house to try and earn some money to be able to buy books at the book fair. We were at the library all the time, don't get me wrong. We had books galore available to us, but to buy books wasn't always the possibility. And so I can even smell the paper of the book fair flyer. It was like that newsprint paper. Oh, I don't know. I just absolutely loved it. And then it was like something exciting happening at your school because the book fair would come and they would set up and you would be able to go and browse around and look at it it was just the best thing ever. I loved the book fair so much. So I picked 5 different book series that were both either from the 80s or 90s that I remember as a child, or maybe for my younger siblings, since, you know, that's the age I am now. And we have done 5 different sock sets for these classic book series. So the first one I want to show you is for Sweet Valley High. Now, Sweet Valley High, hold on just a minute. Richard needed to come in and ask me a question, so I paused for a minute. And he said, "What, don't you want me to podcast with you?" He was just joking, of course. I said, "I thought you were busy." He says, "I am." Okay, that's fine. Anyway, so the first book series is Sweet Valley High. Does anybody remember these? I used to love these. I think I was in like 5th or 6th grade when I went through a Sweet Valley High, like obsession. And I think there's probably 100 of, I don't know. I really don't know how many of these books there are, but there's a lot of them. And I would just check out like 5 or 10 at a time and just read through them like candy. And so here is the sock set for that one. And it comes with 2 minis because the books are based on the 2 sisters, the 2 twin sisters. And so that is that one. And I love the colors of this one for Sweet Valley High. I had to package it like this because with multiple minis, it doesn't fit in a band. My biography sock base, it's the hank is shorter, and so therefore it's fatter, if that makes sense. So it's kind of shorter and plumper. And so it didn't want to fit. So we've put these in bags. So that's Sweet Valley High. All right, the next one also has multiple minis. And this one is based on Choose Your Own Adventure books. Do you guys remember these? They were so much fun. You know, it's the kind of thing where you're reading along the story and then it says, if you choose to follow Mr. Smith, turn to page 93. If you choose to go your own way and find your own way to the mansion, then turn to page 17. And then you have to follow it through and figure out what's going to happen. And it takes you to a multiple of different endings. And so here is Choose Your Own Adventure. And it's including 3 minis, so that you can choose your own sock adventure there. And this color it's a light gray with some greens and reds and blues and some fuchsia in there. And by the way, this neon red is probably my new obsession. I love it so much. So that's Choose Your Own Adventure. Then the next three just have a single mini with them. And so the next one is Magic Tree House. And my older kids loved the Magic Tree House books. They were so much fun. Again, it's that adventure seeking that you get to have, where you go into the treehouse. Where are you going to end up? You could be in, medieval Europe. You could end up in ancient Egypt or in the Roman Empire. You never know where you're going to be if you go through the Magic Tree House. And so here is that set. And then the next one is the Babysitter's Club. This was a really fun one. It was a very, it was sweet books for friends who start a babysitting club. And it's not really about babysitting. It's about coming of age experiences and friendships and navigating challenges and so on. And this is our representation of the Babysitter's Club. I think that's super fun. And then the last one in this collection is Goosebumps. I don't think that there's much that says summer as much as wanting to read creepy stories under the covers, late at night, flashlight in hand. And then you tell each other the stories. That was always super fun. So here is Goosebumps. And if you look here at the book cover, you will see where the color inspirations came from. So I love that one. Super fun. So that is my nostalgic contribution to your summer knitting plans. I'll put these back together. I'm going to be joining in summer sock camp for sure. I hope you are too. What patterns are you going to knit? Are you joining in? That's what I would love to know. Summer Sock Camp is hosted by Kay Litton, the crazy sock lady. And if I am right, she starts usually right around Memorial Day. I haven't looked to see if that's the starting day. For those of you not in the US, that's usually the the last Monday in May. So I'm not sure what the exact starting date is, but it's that week sometime. And so I'm definitely excited about it. And I love the vibe of like the graphic she has. It's very early 90s. It's kind of got that retro feel, which I think Summer Sock Camp in general has kind of that retro reminiscent feel of going to camp for the summer. And that's also what I was kind of going for with this summer book fair. So I'm really excited about it. I was talking about summer book fairs. It makes me think about summer reading programs. We always loved to participate in those when I was a kid, and then also my children have too. You could go to the library, the local library, and sign up for their summer reading program as a youth, and I think as a teen as well. And then you had a certain number of books or pages, or it just depended on the library. I think most of the time it was books, the number of books, and then you would mark them off and take it back in, and they would give you a coupon. And here the coupon was for Pizza Hut. You could get your own personal pan pizza. I thought that was really cool when I was a kid, and my kids loved it too. And I was just thinking, man, I want to do a summer book, I don't know, what is it? Summer book reading program, but yarn should be the reward at the end of it, right? Read this many books and get your free skein of yarn. Maybe I'll do that. I'll have to think about that. What do you guys think about that? I love books, as you can tell. Yeah, there's a reason that I'm the Yarnbrary. Books, yarn. How do you choose a first love? Especially if you use audiobooks and you can have both at the same time. So that's what we have going on right now. Swashbuckle is on sale for the rest of the month of May. It is on, if I remember, it's 30% off. It's automatic in the cart. So If you buy any swashbuckle, any skein, there's not a minimum order, and it is available on our contemporary sock as a contemporary sock set, along with its mini, coordinating mini, and on classic DK. So it's available on all those 3 bases. It's ready to ship, and it's 30% off for the rest of the month of May in celebration for MerMay. We are going to continue doing a colorway of the month for the foreseeable future. So every month we'll have a color that is on sale for that month, and yeah, you can look for that. And we also have just a few more days. Today is the 17th. So we have until the 20th. Yes, the 20th is the last day you can sign up for May's installment of the Hogwarts Library, which this month's inspiration is Transfiguration Today. So if you want to sign up for that, it's mostly full. I think there's a few spots left for the May Hogwarts Club, which ships on the 25th. I think that's everything. It's been so good to catch up. I am really hoping I can find some time to finish my Bantam shawl, well, wrap my Bantam scarf, this project, and to cast on some socks. What else do I want to do this summer? I mean, I'm really excited about the rainbow. Anything rainbow right now is just calling my name. And I'm excited for finishing up my tee that I'm designing and knitting another one. So those are my summer plans for my knitting. But you know what? They could change at any time, because I could find something new and whoosh, I'll be off in a different direction. That's what happens with me. That's everything I have. So we will talk to you soon. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.